That's the biggest muddy I've ever seen.
And it's so clean, I reckon you'd see a croc.
That's a really big crab.
We're gonna get to it, hopefully we can find some crabs. We're out here on the Great Barrier Reef looking for big mud crabs. I'm with my mate Ash, who I've been friends with for 15 years. Conditions are near perfect. We're in the Back to Basics mothership. We're gonna take you along for the ride. Let's do it. Creek that goes up into the island. Crystal clean, salt water. Let's go have a look up in there. And it's so clean, I reckon you'd see a croc, eh? But then again, they are pretty crafty. This little creek's just opened up into a pretty big inlet that has little side chutes off in a lot of different directions. It's pretty shallow, crystal clean. I'm still super wary of crocs. Where do you reckon we go, mate? I'm gonna head up further into there. I would not want a croc coming after me this deep in mud. I would be so slow to move. So what we're doing is just walking along with the hand spears, having a look through the shallows to see if any mud crabs are just walking from area to area. So far, no luck. So we're going to press up further, deeper into this system, into the middle of the island, but we want to do it relatively quickly because in about 3 hours, the water is probably going to be up to my neck. We've got a really fast incoming tide, so we've got to get to it. Hopefully we can find some crabs. There's a couple of rays almost with their backs out of the water. It's that shallow. And they're just digging up the sand. So we've been looking through the water the whole time, about 10 inches of water, crystal clean, so you should see them if there were crabs here, but I've just started scanning up in the mud under the mangroves, and I've just spotted a proper huge mud crab. So here's where I've been looking, and then I just scanned up literally a meter up above the water. Oh, it's a big crab. That's a really big crab. We want to try and grab it so that we don't kill it, we can keep it live. Look at the size of that nipper. I can't get behind it. See if we can get it out.
That's the biggest muddy I've ever seen. Yeah, boy.
It's honestly like flat out holding it up.
That is the biggest muddy.
Look at that. Oh, look at the stingray just here. Watch out for him. Oh well, that's one.
It's going straight in my basket. Big crab straight off the bat. How good's that?
Was there any doubt though? A little bit of doubt. Alright, now at least we know what we're looking for. That's one of the biggest dangers in here, to be honest. Probably stepping on one of the hundreds of stingrays that are up here feeding in the shallows. Probably the only other sort of risky or unpleasant thing is that the sandflies have just come out like it's Christmas lunch and are just feasting on both my hands and my legs. But outside of that, it's pretty good going. Oh, wait, Cuzza! Ash, another big crab. There's another big crab in front of me. This one's in the water. Oh, it's a good crab. It's starting to dig. Look at that. I honestly think there'd be a potential business venture for someone to go and salvage all of these aluminium dinghies that are long washed up on various remote coastlines, because there's just so many of them that have met a an unfortunate ending, but surely that could be like melted down or recycled somehow. Just a quick check on this island. Now we're going to keep heading north while the winds are relatively light. Gotta get better at anchoring the boat closer though. Luckily the water's clean. Oh, not good. We've come across on this headland this ginormous wharf that comes out. This coastline is full of silica sand, a really fine white sand that's used for tablet screens and glass. So big ships come up along the edge of this, and then they pump all this sand out and onto the back of the ships and then sent over all over the world to make those different sorts of products. For us though, we're interested in all the bait and potential fish that are stacked up against it. Dropped a jig on the bottom, he's been smoked. What do you reckon?
I reckon it was a fish at the start. That's the big man in the grey suit.
It's not very big. Sounder. It's about 10 meters deep.
Well done. You're gonna eat him for dinner or let him go?
Yeah, we'll let him go.
You have to think about that for a second. We've continued pressing further north, and this island here on the other side of me is an island I've wanted to come for a lot of years. I've heard stories about it, and I heard it's just a really unique shape, and there's this mangrove system smack bang in the middle of it, and it's this really big U shape with a fringing reef around it, white sandy beaches. So I'm going to get the drone up to get an eagle-eye view, but from what I've heard and what I've looked at on the maps, it's a pretty wild setup. We're going to head out wide and try and make the most of it. We're just going to have a jump in the water. The winds are really light, so we thought we'd head out wider to where the Great Barrier Reef starts pretty much. And yeah, we've got the drone up and it looks clean enough, it looks pretty specky, and we've just come across a couple of rocks, so we're going to jump in and see if we can get a couple more fish to add to those crabs for dinner.
Yeah.
I only found this out in the last 2 hours, and I've known him for 15 years. He doesn't eat and doesn't like mud crabs, and I've gone mud crabbing with him before. And then we're going to find somewhere to anchor up, somewhere in a protected sort of coral cove, I guess. Yeah, find a decent anchorage somewhere up on top of the reef. What were you saying this morning was your favourite eating fish?
Mangrove jack.
What was
So
he?
happy with this fish. We just jumped in a little bit of rubble there, and he came straight in off the sand mid-water and just said g'day. I didn't have time to load my gun, so I was as quick as I could be and tried to get the GoPro going, but I don't know how to do that right. So no footage, but very nice fish for dinner.
That's him, that's him.
Yo, wait.
Hey, I'm Aaron anyway.
I'm Zach, my brother.
Hey, good to meet you, bro.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Whereabouts you from?
You just look so stable, eh?
Oh no, she's the one with the bad lead on it.
Might be a bit loud on this trout boat, but it's such an unexpected one this afternoon. We were coming onto the reef and I just saw this really big boat in the distance and we're like, oh, we'll go and check it out, we'll go and check it out, you know, like see if it's a prawn trawler, see if we can buy some prawns or bugs off them. And turns out it was this live trout fishing vessel, and there's like a few of our mates that we went to high school with that we haven't seen in years. They're skippering the boat and fishing every day, and yeah, as you can see, like down around and behind me, there's just tubs of like A-grade quality live coral trout that are going to be sent Australia and overseas. That's pretty much winding up a day. The sun's going to set. We've got mangrove jack and mudcrab for dinner, and we've got a kitchen to cook it in. I think we're going to camp on the boat tonight and also get a little bit of intel on these reefs in the surrounding area. Yeah, I'll get a little bit of footage of the mudcrab, the mangrove jack, how we cook it up, but you know the drill. Fresh seafood, always going to be amazing. Really appreciate you coming along for the ride. Check out the website, check out our Patreon. We're on all the socials. I've never seen this many trout at once in my life. Oh, really?